I went ahead and bought a stream deck just for this, because it annoyed me so much to keep clicking on the keyboard hotkeys that I made. It made me so utterly annoyed, and like so angry that I didn't think. So let's see. Damn, it's so fun to have a stream deck now, because my stream deck is actually like my proper one. My main stream deck is actually at home, so it's kind of fun to have one here as well. It's tiny as hell, but it sure is comforting in a way. Like, I won't have to be so annoyed like I was, and constantly re-click stuff and all that. But the plan today, as in the title, read a bit more on the Lotus Sutra, write some notes, study, have a bit of a nerd out, and then maybe play some Hades, continue on from where I left off on Friday, I think, question mark. Yeah, I think I got past Meg with the bow, and like I think I barely got past. It was just something like that. But I've been thinking of revisiting it since, I'm not home. I think I should be able to take like a take a quick turn. No, that's not how it's phrased. A quick trip back home on Thursday sometime. Yeah, and then maybe I'll have a very, very, very short Sekiro stream while I'm there. I think I mentioned all I needed to say, so let me just there and there. Oh, it's so fun. It's so fun. Okay, let's do like a what I remember thing to like refresh my memory. What went on in chapter 1 summary. No. From what I can remember. See. The Buddha performs this great miracle. No, how do I word this? The Buddha performs a great miracle. No, that is. It goes into meditation. Performs a great miracle that has a light shooting out of the tuft of his brows, and lights up the lights up all the Buddha realms. I'm just gonna call them that, like all the worlds in the 6 directions. See, flowers fall from the sky. His no, the one no. The ones present in in his sermon rejoice at the sight and understand they see something great. No, understand their no, and understand they're witnessing something truly amazing. Maitreya sees he sees and like he understands that it's great and like truly an auspicious sign, but it's the meaning he doesn't understand. And understand why the Buddha performed this great miracle. He asks Prince. No, I'm not. I'm just gonna shorten it to Manjushri. For an answer. And like and Jushri answers that his answer that the Buddha about to expound the Lotus Sutra. He goes on to explain that this has happened before in a past life. So he then goes on to explain that this has happened before, all in a past life, and that's why he knows that the Buddha is about to expound the Lotus Sutra. See, long for time ninja go meme, like it's basically that, yeah, like long before time that because like this existed before, and then there are all of those Buddhas and all of like that whole thing. See. It Manjushri explains that he and Maitreya know each other from that past life. They have a karmic connection. See, I'm gonna add this like a key point. Maitreya was fame seeker and Manjushri was Bodhisattva, wondrous light. Quick TLDR of the quick TLDR and understanding the chapter. Like embrace your faults. Like what's a good way to describe that? Embrace your faults wholeheartedly. And it's still possible to become a Buddha. Like, yeah, modern oh my god, I can't write. Equivalent, like self self-aware see. No, I'm gonna narcissist that goes to therapy / person that self-aware of their faults, that tries their best to do good. Yeah, it's kind of like that, isn't it? Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. chapter. I'm gonna do like that, and then this is like probably one of my favorite chapters. I think so. Like it's in close ranking with the third chapter and the fourth one, I think. I swear, with the runaway son. Okay. At the time, the world honored one rising calmly from Samadhi addressed Shariputra. See, I'm gonna try and highlight most names as I read. The wisdom of the Buddhas is infinite and extremely profound. The approach to their wisdom is difficult to enter and difficult to understand. It is beyond the comprehension of even Shravakas and Pratyeka Buddhas. Okay. The one thing here is well, it's mentioned in the earlier chapter that it's like the Lotus Sutra and the Sutra of Innumerable Meanings is like the Great Vehicle Sutra, like a great vehicle practice, and that's Mahayana, basically. It's like another term for it, and Shariputra is not Mahayana. See. The Buddha rises from meditation and tells Shariputra that the Buddha wisdom is something difficult to understand. It's something difficult to understand, and that it's sort of over his level of comprehension, because, like, you know, Shariputra is like notably a Shravaka. He's a listener, and he listens to the Buddha and his teachings, like a voice hearer. Is a Shravaka. Voice hearer, someone who only listens to the Buddha. Pratyeka Buddhas are like individuals who achieve enlightenment alone, and they don't teach it to others, and they struggle to. But that's not. It's someone only listens to the Buddha. See, Bodhisattva equal / great vehicle is no are names, like there are names now, are names to, like names or synonyms, gods, it's difficult to talk, are names for the Mahayana path. Shariputra is not of this path yet. Let's add the Four Noble Truths to, yeah, because like it's simplified. I simplify a lot by saying it's like the Theravada school. And that's extremely simplified. Okay. The Buddha, he basically says that. No, I'm gonna continue reading. Does this look good? And I'm gonna add this, and that's why he can't comprehend this with wisdom. Okay, there. Why is this? Because the Buddhas have been in close association with hundreds of thousands of millions of other Buddhas, fully practicing countless teaching of the way, boldly and diligently advancing and making their fame universally known. Having accomplished the extremely profound and extraordinary Dharma, they have taught it according to what was appropriate, but their intention is difficult to grasp. This is like, I'm gonna highlight this because the concept of skillful means is basically to simplify something to, and then like you have one thing and then you simplify it and teach it so that the other person can understand it, and then you might have someone who's a bit smarter and they understand it a lot more easier than what the other person might have. That's basically what skillful means is. Well, wait, let me add a detail. Shariputra, since I became a Buddha, I have spoken far and wide and taught with various parables and examples from the past, and by countless skillful means I have led living beings, freeing them from their attachments. Why is this? Because the Tathagatas are replete with skillful means and the paramita of knowledge and insight. Hi, Grispo. How's your day been? I have slept a lot today, to be honest. So I'm like kind of happy to do. Oh, you're sick. Hopefully it's just like a cold or something. Like nothing serious. Ooh. Damn. I really hope you get better quickly. Excuse me? I want you. There. Detail. The Buddha. Says no. Yeah, thanks. I have fun with them. I get to like do a special interest and talk to myself and try and articulate myself as I write. It tickles a very distant spot in my brain. To Reputra. That. Present in the teaching them the real deal. It's very very simplified. See, I got here. Shariputra, the knowledge and insight of the Tathagatas are broad, great, profound, and far-reaching. With their infinite virtues, their unhindered wisdom, and their powers, fearlessness, meditation, emancipation, and samadhi, they have entered into the boundless realms and fully attained the extraordinary Dharma. Shariputra, the Tathagatas are able to distinguish all things, explain the teaching skillfully, use gentle words, and bring joy to the hearts of all. See, kind of like skill. The concept of skillful means revelation. Like that he has been teaching them the Dharma to their level of understanding. In essence, Shariputra, the Buddhas are fully accomplished in the infinite, boundless, and extraordinary Dharma. That is enough, Shariputra. I should say no more. Why is this? Because the Dharma the Buddhas have attained is understood only rarely and with great difficulty. Only Buddha, together with only Buddha together with the Buddha can fathom the ultimate reality of all things. That is to say, among all things, each has such an appearance, such as nature, such a nature, such an embodiment, such a potential, such a function, such a cause, such a condition, such an effect, such a reward, and from the first to the last, such an ultimate identity. Is this kind of see? Dad, tell me this means I will tell when you're old. Oh goodness. When you're older. Buddha. Yeah, kind of. Again, extremely simplified. And he repeats himself in verse. Yeah, Buddha repeats himself in verse. They do a lot of that, honestly. And like, they're so imagery invoking and they tell a story, but it's so much. Even I don't read. I mostly skim them, but see. I guess I can like do this. Just highlight some words. Among all living beings, none can comprehend. Yeah, this is like that like no one can understand it except for those who practice the Bodhisattva path. See. Upon the real wisdom, like, okay. Verse TLDR, like, this is too difficult to understand. Please don't ask me about it. again. Like, that's the TLDR, isn't it? Like, you should know, Shariputra, that the words of all Buddhas do not disagree. You should generate great strength of faith in the teachings of the Buddha, for only after a long period of expounding them does the world anyone fully reveal the truth. This also highlight, because that's what's his what to do now, isn't it? That, like, it tells him that this is too difficult to understand because they are Shravikas, and this is like of the Bodhisattva path, and like there are no 3 vehicles, there's only one. This is like he's about to reveal it. I say to the multitude of Shravikas, as well as to the seekers of the Pratyeka Buddha vehicle, I have enabled people to cast off the bonds of suffering and attain nirvana. The Buddha, through the power of skillful means, has shown the teachings of the 3 vehicles to draw living beings away from their various attachments. Like, this is like a break-off about to happen. Like, this is too difficult for you to understand. Please don't ask me. Kinda implies something about the 3 vehicles. Skill that he has taught them through skillful means. Kind of it's not in between the lines now. It's like has shown the teachings of the 3 vehicles. I'm gonna vehicles. He kind of implies something about the 3 vehicles. See, okay. At that time there were 1,200 Shravikas in the Great Assembly who were undefiled arhats, including Ajnata Kaudinya. See, as well as monks, nuns, laymen, laywomen aspiring to be Shravikas and Pratyeka Buddhas. They all wondered, for what reason does the honored one extol skillful means so intently and assert that the Dharma attained by the Buddha is so extremely profound and difficult to understand, and why is the meaning of the words he speaks so difficult to grasp that not one of the Shravakas and or Pratyeka Buddhas can do so. The Buddha taught us a single principle of emancipation, and moreover we gained this teaching and reached nirvana. Now, however, we do not understand what he intended by teaching us this principle. Yeah, this is like the thing. This is the split off thing. Because as he said, they won't understand. Their Buddha says they won't. No, I'm gonna add. See. Ajnata Kaundinya and others does not understand what he means when he says it's too difficult for them to understand when they thought themselves to to be enlightened, conceited, basically. See, let's clarify others. Shravakas and Pratyeka Buddhas he taught us emancipation. We achieved this and reach nirvana. What does he mean that we can't understand? Yeah, it's basically this. Let's see, let's just highlight this in orange because it's interesting detail. Then Shariputra, sensing the doubt in the minds of the four groups and himself not yet clear about it, humbly asked the Buddha, "World honored one, what is the cause and what was the reason that you so intently extol the paramount skillful means of the Buddhas as most extremely profound and sublime, as a most extremely profound and sublime dharma, so difficult to understand. I had never before heard such a discourse from the Buddha, and now all in these groups have been cast into doubt. Oh, this is such purple prose. Will the world-honored one please explain this matter? Why does the world-honored one so intently extol the very extremely profound and sublime Dharma as so difficult to understand? Like, it's like he wants to clear things up, basically. Like, what do you mean? Putra. Senses the doubt and confusion. In the other group. And just to clear things up with the Buddha and asks him, but what do you mean skillful means? What does that mean? Why are you saying the Dharma is so difficult to understand when you know he along with the others present thought themselves already enlightened. Oh, he repeats the universe. Oh my god. Buddha repeats his question in verse. Great title, honestly. See. Regarding the Dharma attained at the place of the way, furthermore, no one has yet been able to ask why you say that your intention is so difficult to fathom without being asked of your own accord. You expounded it, extolling the way you have followed and the wisdom attained by the Buddhas as extremely sublime. All the undefiled arhats and the seekers of nirvana are now enmeshed in doubt. See, it's like this is interesting. Why does the Buddha expound this matter? Those seeking to become Pratyeka Buddhas, the monks and nuns, the heavenly beings, dragon spirits, spirit demons, Gandharvas, and other beings glance at each other in uncertainty and look expectantly to the most honored of all beings. What could this possibly mean? Yes, like it's kind of like very interesting detail. Like yeah, it's basically that. What do you mean? Riputra is doubting himself. Let's see. The wisest of the Buddha's students is doubting himself. The children born of the Buddha's teaching wait expectantly with palms placed together. Please send forth your wondrous voice. And now tell us the truth as it really is. Heavenly beings, spirits, dragons, and others as numerous as the sands of the Ganges. Bodhisattvas aspiring to be Buddhas, fully 80,000 in numbers, and wheel-rolling sage kings from thousands of millions of countries are all here. With reverent hearts and palms placed together, they desire to hear the perfect way. That's what it is, isn't it? Tell us. Tell us the truth and what you really mean. Oh God. This is like a rap battle, honestly, with how often they repeat verses back to each other. Then the Buddha said to Shariputra, Enough, I should say no more. If I explain this matter, heavenly and human beings throughout the world would be astonished and perplexed. Shariputra again said to the Buddha, Please explain it, world honored one. Please do explain it. Why is this? Because in this assembly there are countless hundreds of thousands of millions of myriads of living beings. Oh my God, there are so many people here. Oh, I could never. Who have already seen the Buddhas, whose faculties are keen and whose wisdom is clear. If they hear the Buddha's teaching, they will be able to respect and believe it. Then Shariputra, wanting to repeat what he said, spoke in words. Okay. I will kind of highlight this one as an interesting point. King of the Dharma, most highly honored one, explain it please, without misgivings. In this assembly, my mom sneezed. In this assembly are countless beings who can respect and believe it. Kind of not true. This one. It's in. Because there is a break off that happens in this chapter, if I remember correctly. Interesting detail. Minor one. Very minor. Group breaks off in the end, I think. Then the Buddha again said, That is enough, Shariputra. If I explained this matter, heavenly beings, humans, and asuras throughout the world would be astonished and perplexed, and prideful, arrogant monks might fall into a great pit. Buddha denies Shariputra an answer So defaults to the no, I shouldn't have said anything. Everyone will just be confused if I do explain it. Shariputra asks him again to explain and tell them what he means. He repeats in verse. He repeats his question in verse. Interesting note. He says there are beings in this assembly that would respect and believe it. I'm drawing this back to this because there are people in his assembly who don't understand, and they won't understand basically. The Buddha denies Shariputra and answer again, says the same thing. No, that is enough. The world would go under if I attempted to explain. He repeats this in verse. Enough, I should say no more. My Dharma is so wondrous and subtle that those who are prideful and arrogant on hearing it certainly would not respect or believe it. See, right here, this interesting detail. The Buddha is certain that there are people who are too prideful and arrogant to understand. Shariputra again asked the Buddha, please explain it, world honored one. Please do explain it. In this present assembly there are hundreds of thousands bunch of people present, like me, who in former lifetimes have followed Buddhas and been transformed by them. Such people as these can certainly respect and believe it, and thus have peace and comfort throughout the long night and be nourished by its abundant benefits. The Buddha said that there are people Okay, let's just remove this one then. People to Shariputra pleads with the Buddha a third time to please explain and repeats his question in verse. Most highly honored of all beings. I like this title. Please explain the foremost Dharma. As the eldest son of the Buddha, I ask you to clearly and distinctly explain it. Countless beings in this assembly are able to respect and believe this Dharma. They already were in their former lifetimes taught and transformed by Buddhas, all with a single mind and with palms placed together. Decide to hear the Buddha's words. We, the 1200, and others who aspire to be Buddhas, ask you for the sake of this. We, the 1200, and others who aspire to be Buddhas, ask you for the sake of these beings to clearly and distinctly explain it. If they hear this Dharma, they will experience great joy. Just interesting detail. Okay. The Buddha gives in on Shari's third attempt. My throat is sore. I'm gonna grab my drink. Okay. Like, see, I do remember reading this. Gives in and finally explains. I will now explain everything in full detail. Listen carefully and reflect deeply on my words. When he said this, some 5,000 monks, nuns, laymen immediately stood up, made a sign of respect to the Buddha, and withdrew. There it is. Like, it's that. It's the breakup thing. A group breaks off. Oh, like a group of 5,000 individuals leave the assembly when the Buddha says he will explain. See, and there's Why was this? Roots of evil had set so deeply in them, and their prideful arrogance was such that they deemed themselves to have attained what they had not attained, and to have experienced what they had not experienced. Because of such failings, they did not stay. The world-honored one kept silent and stopped them. The Buddha let them leave because he was aware of their arrogance and pride. Yeah. Gonna see. I'm gonna do this. Interesting details. Thereupon the Buddha said to Shariputra, "Now this assembly of mine has shed its twigs and leaves, and all who remain are sincere and faithful. It is better, Shariputra, for such prideful and arrogant people to leave. Listen well, and for your sake I will now explain." It is because of Shariputra insistence that the Buddha explains what he means. It's because of Shariputra wishes to hear. The Buddha said to Shariputra, "The Buddha Tathagatas teach such a wondrous dharma as this only on rare occasions, just as the Udumbara flower appears only occasionally. Shariputra, you and the others must believe me. The words spoken by Buddha are never hollow or false." Detail. Shariputra, the Buddhas have taught the Dharma in so many ways as appropriate in each situation, and thus their ultimate intention is difficult to understand. Why is this? Although I expound the teachings of the Dharma using numberless skillful means, a variety of words and terms, parables and examples from the past, the Dharma, in fact, defies all efforts to grasp it through logic and analysis. Only Buddhas can fathom it. Why is this? Buddhas, the world-honored ones, appear in the world only because of the one great cause. The Buddha further explains that yes, he might have taught it with all of he might have taught it in all of these different manners. But the Dharma is still beyond that way of teaching. Does that make sense? I understand it. Like, it's like the Tao, basically. Like, it's unexplainable, you just know. Like, the Tao. No words can be used to explain it. Can't be defined by anything. You just know. See, I think I'm gonna there. Which is why only a Buddha can understand. And highlight this one. Shariputra, why do I say that the world honored one appear in the world only because of the one great cause? Buddhas, the world honored ones, desire to cause living beings to open their eyes to the knowledge and insight of the Buddhas and become pure. Therefore, they appear in the world. They appear in the world. They desire to demonstrate the knowledge and insight of the Buddhas to living beings. Therefore, they appear in the world. They desire to cause living beings to realize the knowledge and insight of the Buddhas. Therefore, they appear in the world. They desire to enable living beings to embark upon the way of the knowledge and insight of the Buddhas. Therefore, they appear in the world. This, Shariputra, is the one great cause that causes Buddhas to appear in the world. Yeah, that's the Bodhisattva thing. Yeah. Yeah, because like the Bodhisattvas put off becoming enlightened for as long as they can, so they can go and liberate others. Yeah. Like, they do so continuously and for as long as they can. The Buddha explains what a bodhisattva is to them. The Buddha said to Shariputra, all of those whom the Buddha Tathagatas teach and transform are bodhisattvas. Everything the Buddhas do is always for the sake of this sole cause, that is to demonstrate the knowledge and insight of the Buddhas to living beings and have them realize it. This is the thing, isn't it? Like, the stress on bodhisattvas. Like, yeah, everything the Buddha do Buddhas do is always for the sake of this sole cause. All of those whom the Buddha Tathagatas teach and transform are bodhisattvas. Details. And that everyone the Buddhas have transformed are bodhisattvas. Shariputra, in expounding the Dharma for the sake of living beings, the Tathagata solely makes use of the one Buddha vehicle. This is the revelation. Like the big revelation. Oh God. Revelation of there only being one vehicle, not three. Yeah, two spaces? What the hell? Okay. The one Buddha vehicle. Important tell everything. He explains that there is only one vehicle, one teaching, not two, not three. Shariputra, so it is also with the expanding of the Dharma of all Buddhas throughout the 10 directions. Shariputra, in order to expand their teachings to living beings, the Buddhas of the past also employed infinitely numerous skillful means, a variety of words and terms, parables and examples from the past. All of the teachings are also for the sake of the one Buddha vehicle. Therefore, those living beings who followed those Buddhas and heard their teachings ultimately achieved all-embracing wisdom. There. And there. Details. No, honestly, I think this is a lowercase details. And then this one is a uppercase, all caps details. Therefore, achieved all-embracing wisdom. Shariputra, when the Buddhas of the future appear in the world in order to expound the teachings to living beings, they will also employ infinitely numerous skillful means, a variety of words and terms and parables and examples from the past. All of the teachings are also for the sake of the one Buddha vehicle. Therefore, all living beings who follow those Buddhas and hear their teachings will ultimately achieve all-embracing wisdom. Like, this is the revelation that he's sort of dumbed stuff down. Extremely simplified, but yeah. Shariputra, there are Buddhas, the world honored ones, currently present in countless hundreds of thousands of millions of Buddha lands throughout the 10 directions, whose benefits nourish living beings and make them peaceful and agreeable in order to expound the teachings to living beings. These Buddhas are also employing infinitely numerous skillful means, a variety of words and terms and parables and examples from the past. Oh, he repeats himself so much, but yeah, that's might be my autism picking that up. All of their teachings are also for the sake of the one Buddha vehicle. Therefore, yeah, all the Buddhas, all of those following the Buddhas will achieve all-embracing wisdom. Shariputra, all of those whom the Buddhas teach and transform are bodhisattvas because the Buddhas desire to demonstrate the knowledge and insight of the Buddhas to living beings because they desire to cause living beings to realize the knowledge and insight of the Buddhas, and because they desire to enable living beings to embark upon the way of the knowledge and insight of the Buddhas. He's repeating himself. Oh, why am I picking up on this? Interesting. I get why he is repeating himself, because it's like a story, like a story, literal. No, was it a literary device? But I'm picking up on it, and it's not. It's not that fun. Shariputra, it is now also the same with me. I know that living beings have many kinds of desires and deep attachments. According to this basic nature of theirs, I teach them the Dharma by employing the power of skillful means as a variety of words and terms, parables and examples from the past. Shariputra, these teaching, yes, all to attain all-embracing wisdom in the one Buddha vehicle. See there. Shariputra, in all worlds in the 10 directions, there are not even 2 vehicles, much less 3. Interesting. Shariputra, the Buddhas appear in the evil age of the 5 decays, deterioration of the kalpa, festering of delusions, degeneration of living beings, degeneration of use and diminishing lifespans. Thus, Shariputra, in a deteriorating kalpas, chaotic times, the defilements of living beings are heavy, for stinginess, greed, jealousy, and envy bring to fruition all of the roots of unwelcomeness. See. Further explains that every teaching is is for the sake of the one Buddha vehicle. And for those following it to achieve achieve all embracing wisdom. The Buddha says he is like everyone else that came before. He teaches for the sake of the one Buddha vehicle. But and used skillful means just like everyone who came before him. See, I kind of like that quote. Shariputra, in all worlds in the 10 directions, there are not even 2 vehicles, much less 3. I kind of like that one. For this reason, the Buddhas, using the power of skillful means, set up divisions within the one Buddha vehicle and expounded it as though it were 3. Because of this. It's because of that. I'm gonna put that in green. Hello? Why won't you? There. Green. Really, because it solely. No. It feels extra important. Buddha, like, the Buddha explains why he divided the one teaching into 3. And like it's literally because of their level of understanding things. Their level of understanding things. The set up divisions, yeah. There. Shariputra, if any of my disciples who call themselves arhats or pratyeka Buddhas neither hear nor understand that all of those whom the Buddha Tathagatas teach and transform are bodhisattvas, then they are not the Buddha's disciples. They are not arhats and they are not pratyeka Buddhas. This. detail. Moreover, Shariputra, if those monks and nuns say that they have become arhats, that is their last lifetime, and that they have attained ultimate nirvana as a result, ultimate nirvana, and as a result do not further aspire to supreme perfect awakening. You should know that all such as these are the prideful and arrogant, for there is no such thing as a monk who, not believing this teaching, has truly become an arhat. Like, kind of roast, no? Kind of roast. Kind of. Like, the Buddha calls the Shravaka and the Pratyeka Buddhas prideful and arrogant and selfish, because they don't wish to help others reach enlightenment. Yeah. Green, because it is extra percent. The only exception might be in the period following one Buddha's extinguishment and before another Buddha's appearance. Why is this? After Buddha's passing, it is difficult to find anyone who will receive, embrace, read, and recite such a teaching as this, and understand its meaning. Should they meet another Buddha, they could then, within this teaching, attain decisive understanding. Shariputra, all of you should receive and embrace the words of the Buddha and wholeheartedly believe and understand them. Nothing that the Buddha Tathagatas say is hollow or false. There is no other vehicle. There is only the one Buddha vehicle. Yeah. The Buddha asked them to embrace and understand his words. Since nothing a Buddha says is hollow or false, and he further emphasizes that there is just one Buddha vehicle. Oh God, he repeats himself in verse. The Buddha repeats what he just said in verse. See. I'm gonna this one. There were monks and nuns harboring prideful arrogance, laymen filled with self-conceit, and laywomen of empty faith. Those of the four groups, such as these, 5,000 in number, perceived not their own errors, were lax in keeping the precepts, and clung dearly to the flaws. And those of little wisdom have withdrawn, faced with the dignity and virtue of the Buddha. The chaff and dregs of this assembly have gone. Those people, lacking the blessings of virtue, could not bear to receive this teaching. I will do this. This assembly has shed its twigs and leaves, and only the sincere and faithful remain. Shariputra, listen carefully. The Dharma attained by the Buddhas is expounded for the sake of living beings by employing immeasurable powers of skillful means. What living beings entertain in their minds, the ways in which they behave, the various desires and characters, and the good and bad karma from their previous lifetimes, are all completely known by the Buddhas by using the power of such skillful means as a variety of words and terms, parables and examples from the past. The Buddha... What is mom saying? See. Like this. Skillful means... There... the Buddha caused only to result. My preaching also makes use of sutras, verses, stories of my own past lives and those of my disciples, miraculous tales, examples from the past, songs and lyrics. What is mom saying? Could you be a bit quieter? Some living beings with dull facilities delight in lesser teachings. This I don't believe my mom can be heard in the background. I really hope not. But anyway, that right there, that's like, that's him describing the other, that's him describing those who left, basically. Like, they have a lesser understanding of things, and it's kind of the same approach with the use of skillful means, because people don't, because people understand things differently, and they don't understand things the same way, so he has to adapt. Living beings with dull faculties delight in lesser teachings. is it right to say, yeah, but it is like, yeah, he is the group of beings who left the assembly, and those who had believed what they like, those, yeah, it's those who left and them, but how do I write that so it makes sense? Because they're willing to listen to him, but like willing to him, like unsure wording. See, delight in the lesser teachings, and are greedily attached to the cycles of birth and death. They do not, even in the midst of innumerable Buddhas, practice the profound and wondrous way, and are afflicted and distressed by a host of suffering. For their sake I teach nirvana. I set this forth as skillful means to enable them to take up the Buddha wisdom. Yet I have never said all of you will complete the Buddha way. Because the time had not come yet, now is the right time to definitely teach the great vehicle, these 9 divisions of the teachings that I put forth to fit living beings, form the basis of bringing them into the great vehicle. That's just another way to say Mahayana. Another way to say Mahayana. Great. See, bringing them into the great vehicle. Another way to say he is bringing them into the, or no, onto the Mahayana path. And that is why I'm expounding the sutra for the sake of Buddha children whose mind are pure and flexible, whose faculties are keen, and who in the presence of innumerable Buddhas have walked the profound way. I teach this great vehicle sutra. Such people as these have my assurance that in a future lifetime they will complete the Buddha way, because they are deeply mindful of the Buddha, and because they observe the pure precepts. When such people as these hear that they will become Buddhas, great joy permits their entire being, because Buddha knows their minds and behaviors. He teaches the great vehicle for their sake. The Buddha teaches the great vehicle for their sake. The students and humans and everyone else. If Shravikas are bodhisattvas, here any teaching that I expound, be it even only one verse, all are certain to become Buddhas. In Buddha lands throughout the 10 directions, there is nothing other than the one vehicle Dharma. There is neither a second nor a third. Except those provisionally called so by the Buddha and used as skillful means for the sake of guiding living beings. The sole reason that the Buddha appear in the world is to reveal the Buddha wisdom, and therefore only the one is real and the other two are not true. In the end, by a lesser vehicle, they do not convey living beings to liberation. The Buddha himself abides in the great vehicle. There the Buddha he has attained. Now there the Dharma he has attained is adorned with the powers of meditation and wisdom that he employs to liberate living beings, as I myself have verified the unsurpassable way. This no green highlight, green there. The great vehicle Dharma of equality, were I to perform even but one person by a lesser vehicle, were I to transform even but one person by a lesser vehicle, that would be stingy and mean of me. Something I could never be. If people have faith in and take refuge in the Buddha, the Tathagata will not deceive them, and is never motivated by greed or envy. Having freed himself from the evil within phenomena, therefore only the Buddha has nothing to fear in all the 10 directions. It's so much. This is why I don't read the verses, because they're so long. I adorn myself with splendid attributes and illuminate the entire world. I like that sentence. I tell countless beings who revere me about the seal of ultimate reality of all things. You should know, Shariputra, that from the beginning I made a vow, desiring all living beings to be my equals, with no distinctions between us. Now, what I vowed so long ago has been perfectly fulfilled, for I am transforming all living beings and enabling them all to embark upon the Buddha way. No matter which living beings I encounter, I use the Buddha way to teach them all. I use the Buddha way to teach them all. However, the unwise are bewildered and unruly, and would only be confused by the teaching and unable to receive it. Yes, just like those who left the assembly. Just like those who left the assembly. I know that these living beings have never developed the roots of goodness. Firmly attached to the 5 desires, they suffer from their lust and cravings by the causes and conditions of these desires. They fall into the three evil paths, transforming in the six realms of existence, where with every tiny form conceived in a womb, they experience all kinds of misery and pain, and that are constantly growing in lifetime after lifetime. These people of meager virtue and few blessings are oppressed and driven by a host of sufferings, entangled in a thicket of distorted views about existence and non-existence, and so forth, and fixated upon. It's so much. Oh my god. Ugh. Ugh. Like, in the next chapter of the burning house, it's literally a parable. The parable is 30 pages. The verse where he explained is 30 pages. It's so long. It, you should know, Sharpitra. I like this sentence. I'm gonna highlight this one. And that one. I'm not like frustrated, it's just because the verses are so long and it's tiring to read. It's why I usually skim them, because it's too much, and I know they basically tell a story of like what he just said, but it's so much. Oh, it's so much. Like, see, they're like, it's so much. Just do that. Like, quickly highlight stuff. Those of little wisdom delight in lesser teaching, unable to believe that they themselves will become Buddhas. We therefore employed skillful means and making distinctions told of the attainment of various fruits. That one. We did so only to teach bodhisattvas. You should know, Shadowpeter, that when I heard the profound line surges, I cried out with joy, Namo Buddha. Like, he rolled the wheel of Dharma. Like, this. Quickly highlight. Also done the Untumbara flower. All of you cast of doubts, for I am the master of all teachings. I announce to everyone in the assembly that all I do is teach and transform bodhisattvas using toward the end, the Buddha says Shariputra, the other Shravakas aren't Shravakas. They are all bodhisattvas. There are those who delight only in being attached to various desires, never seek to be away. You should know, Shariputra, that the Dharma of all Buddhas is like this. Employing thousands of millions of skillful means, they teach the Dharma in whatever manner is appropriate without sufficient study. Important detail, which is why it is green. It cannot be fully comprehended, since you and the others already know that the Buddhas, the teachers of this world, make appropriate use of skillful means. You should have no further doubt. Rejoice heartily and know that you too will become Buddhas. Towards the end, and reassures this fact. Okay. Quick TLDR, I think. Like, what can I take? What did I say? What can I take from this? See. It's like TLDR, children discover a secret, asks the parent to explain. The parent, the children, the parent, the children, 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 the says no because they wouldn't, because you wouldn't understand. The children insist. The parent gives in. That causes a fight because one group of children don't believe the parents. What is my mom doing? The parents' explanation, while the others stay and listen. The use of skillful means is used to teach the Dharma in what is appropriate to their level of understanding. Yeah, or he writes it up and teaches it. What is my mom doing? To their level of understanding. Yeah. And then the river of there only being one vehicle when the Buddha taught there were three. There is just one. He divided it up into three to teach everyone in a manner they understood. Okay. The manner, you could argue that the manner of skillful means do sort of broach into conversion territory. Could be argued that the use of skillful means broach onto territory. The group break off from this assembly the group who continues to the Shravaka way. I actually did see an interesting video about this where it's explained as it's explained as, oh, I never heard about this teaching. Where did you hear it? Oh, the Buddha taught it and expounded it on this and this day. And oh, if you don't know, then you were probably you're probably a student of one of those who left, and video this that explained the possible that of a Ravaka and a board, or no, that's wrong. I thought that it was I've never heard about this teaching before. Where did you hear it? Oh, the Buddha had this sermon then if you don't know this teaching, then you're probably of the lineage of someone in the group who left. Yeah, I think that's it. I can't come up with I could the Buddha, the skillful means, and the beings in the assembly no, that the Dharma is profound and wisdom is difficult to understand. This fuses this casts doubt on everyone present. So Shadija urges him to say what he truly means by his statements. Yeah, I think so. I think that's it. I have been streaming for 2 hours. Been studying and reading for 2 hours, and I thought I'd maybe get some Hades in after studying. But I think I need a break. Or maybe just end stream for a bit because I am tired of talking. But yeah, I think that's it for now. Or like because if I were to continue streaming with Hades, I will exhaust my throat. So I think I'm gonna end stream for now. Honestly, it's been fun. I do like this a lot. I just might not read the verses in much detail because of how damn long they are. But yeah, I think I can... No, I'm gonna change the scenes. Yeah, I think I can get in a stream tomorrow as well. Hopefully I can get some Hades in then. Because if I were to do this again tomorrow, and it's chapter 3, which is the parable chapter, and that the parable itself that the Buddha explained is 30 pages. 30, and that's too much to read out loud, honestly. But yeah, I don't have a set time yet because I'm not home, and I do have the closing shift tomorrow as well. I guess it depends on if I can wake up early to get a stream in before work. So yeah. Hopefully, and crossing my fingers for a stream tomorrow. I think I should be able to get in a very short Sekiro stream on Thursday because I'll be having a quick trip home. So yeah. I think I'm gonna go for now. Hope my special interest musings have been fun. I I enjoyed myself. So bye for now.